currently facing a debate about the possible transfer of an athlete who may join the New Orleans Saints, reuniting with an old acquaintance after the unexpected retirement of a quarterback. Let's delve into this subject. Since the beginning of the 21st century, the Philadelphia franchise has remained relevant and successful, while another team has been facing challenges. The data to be analyzed may surprise many. As usual, the focus will be on the Philadelphia team. It is interesting to note that the release of the NFL schedule will occur on a Wednesday. Once we have access to the programming, a video will be published with a detailed analysis of each game to predict what lies ahead for the team in 2025. We begin with a surprising news story from the weekend. It was announced that a quarterback had been dealing with a shoulder injury that emerged unexpectedly, raising doubts about his future with the team. However, his future in the NFL did not seem to be at risk until it was confirmed that he was retiring after more than 10 years in the league. Initially selected in the second round of a college draft, his journey has been quite intriguing, which we will explore further. Part of the team's statement addressed the seriousness of the shoulder injury. In late March, as he was preparing for the new season, he began to feel discomfort in his right shoulder. This was his first experience throwing extensively since recovering from a concussion and a left-hand injury sustained in a game. He quickly reached out to health professionals, and subsequent exams revealed that he had suffered a labrum injury, along with other complications. After recovering from a concussion and a left-hand injury, he immediately sought medical help, and tests showed he had a labrum injury along with significant degenerative changes in his rotator cuff. This double complication is particularly challenging because injuries to the labrum and rotator cuff are severe for a quarterback or a pitcher. It is unfortunate that both conditions arose. As already mentioned, his career was notably fascinating. He is an athlete with multiple Pro Bowl selections and is among the best in passing yards in history. Many may be surprised to learn that he surpassed 41,000 passing yards, placing him in 22nd place in the league's all-time rankings. He also completed more than 3,700 passes, ranking 20th historically. He threw 157 touchdowns, placing him in 22nd, and has an efficiency rating of 92, which is also considered above average. However, a significant reason he does not receive the recognition he deserves, and why some downplay his departure, which I consider unfair, is that despite his time with the previous team ending in an odd way and his experience with the new team not unfolding as expected, he has always demonstrated admirable character. It is likely that he would have won the NFL MVP award if not for a severe ankle or leg injury during an exceptional season. After this injury, his career suffered a significant setback. He witnessed another player being forced to start a playoff game at a critical moment for the team, and he ended his career with 3 successful seasons, but without any playoff victories. However, it is essential to consider the context. He joined the franchise after a remarkable college career, aiming to follow in his brother's footsteps, although the situation in the city was challenging. At that time, and still today, the organization lacked the structure and stability needed, resulting in a tumultuous environment during his early years. The focus was more on moving to another city than on achieving success on the field. He was heading into a complicated scenario. The situation was far from ideal. It involved an organization that at that time and still today struggled with structural instability issues, leading to a chaotic environment during Carr's early years with the Oakland Raiders. Priorities were more focused on relocation than on winning victories. He went through a series of coaches and eventually requested to leave the team. His move to the New Orleans Saints was indeed surprising. He reunited with a former coach he had worked with at the Raiders, but advancing his career alongside someone who had struggled as a coach in both teams seemed somewhat strange. Considering how his journey began, Carr's development did not achieve the success many had expected, especially after that memorable 2016 season. He never fully recovered from that ankle injury and faced organizational and leadership problems. His performance in decisive games also fell short, resulting in no playoff victories in his career, which leads some to provoke him now that he has decided to step away from the sport. This raises an interesting question. Could he follow a path similar to another coach? After ending his career, this professional made the transition to the media before being traded. Could Carr step away for a few seasons and then have a familiar Notice appear on social media informing his intention to return and continue his journey in the league. It's a valid possibility. The reason this discussion is relevant today is the quarterback competition forming in New Orleans as we approach 2025 under the leadership of a former offensive coordinator. The Saints are set for a quarterback competition involving 3 players. One athlete was selected in the second round. He is a 25-year-old rookie about to turn 26. Another player in the group, in my assessment, does not fit the profile of a standout quarterback. In fact, I consider him a third-string quarterback. Additionally, a third competitor, one of the most promising recruits from high school, is also part of this scenario. He started his college journey at a prestigious institution but faced difficulties and was eventually replaced by another exceptional player. This athlete's path was not as expected, but he transferred and managed to show progress. Although he lacks height, he has a strong arm and the credentials needed to play as a quarterback. This creates a competition scenario between 3 players in New Orleans. Now, would it be feasible for a team to consider trading a quarterback to the Saints after Carr's retirement? Could he become the best option immediately? I believe this athlete has the potential to stand out in the league. He is shaping up to be one of the best backups, and in my opinion, he has what it takes to become a quality starter. What is the coordinator's perspective on this? He chose not to select another player, opting instead for one in the second round who performed notably under his guidance last season. This athlete is tied to a rookie contract for 2 more seasons, so an acquisition could result in a competition with the other 2 quarterbacks. If necessary, one of them could be waived, and if things don't go as planned, he could act as a backup or even take the starting position. Considering the current situation of the Saints, they may be on the verge of a complete rebuild, which implies reevaluating their roster and perhaps starting from scratch. Finding the right quarterback is crucial to kickstart this rebuilding process. Investing in a player is a possibility worth considering, but pursuing this trade makes a lot of sense. The lingering question is whether the management would accept such a proposal. If the team decided to trade, it seems viable that they could receive a second-round pick, or more realistically, a third-round pick. It is important to recognize the importance of the quarterback position. Although a second-round pick was used, there are still uncertainties about the player's abilities, and as an organization, it is crucial to continue to take calculated risks on talent. When evaluating a trade, it is reasonable to consider a third-round player, especially given the position they play, which is quarterback. Although a second-round pick was used on a previous player, it is essential to recognize the uncertainty surrounding their performance. As an organization, it is important to take risks at the quarterback position. Thus, the suggested trade involves one team acquiring McKee, while the other team would request a second or third-round pick. The interested team holds both options in the 2026 NFL Draft. Focusing on the quarterback situation of the other team, it is clear that one player will remain as the starter. Additionally, the team may keep both Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Kyle McCord, allowing them to compete for the backup role. The player who doesn't secure the QB2 role would become third on the depth chart. This quarterback group has great potential to be effective. Despite the challenges Dorian faced on a previous team after being chosen in the 5th round, the team showed interest in him before the draft by inviting him for a visit. His college performance was remarkable, and it is believed that he can thrive on the team's quarterback development system. Kyle McCord stood out as one of the best quarterbacks in this draft class, showcasing significant potential for growth. Instead of letting McKee leave after this or next season without any return, the team could secure some draft picks or at least a second or third round selection. My evaluation of McKee maintains this perspective since he was selected at the tail end of the draft a few years ago. His preseason performance demonstrated his impressive size, allowing him to read the field effectively and see over the offensive line. He has exceptional touch, accuracy, and anticipation in his throws, especially notable in back shoulder throws and timing passes. Additionally, he shows quick decision-making and strong pocket awareness, which is crucial since he may not make plays outside of the structure with his legs. However, his excellent pocket awareness and mobility allow him to advance when the protection starts to break down. He has the ability to absorb hits, and with his size and stature, as well as good vision, he can read the field effectively. He was called upon to replace a player in a game against a rival. Having good pocket awareness and excellent maneuverability allows him to advance when sensing pressure. His size makes him capable of absorbing hits effectively. With this height and sharp vision, he can observe the field well. He entered the game against a rival in the second to last week of last season, completing 3 out of 4 passes, 2 of which resulted in touchdowns. A remarkable 54-yard performance with a perfect passer rating. Shortly afterward, he made his first start against a rival team. It is important to note that this was the last game of the regular season, as the team had already secured their playoff spot. They were positioned as the number 2 seed, leading them to rest all of their starters. With the backups, he led the team to victory and had an exceptional performance, completing 27 out of 41 passes for 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions, achieving a passer rating of 1.0. The touchdowns he threw in both games demonstrated quality throws worthy of an NFL starter. Now imagine you are the general manager. What would you look for in a trade for Tanner McKee? What kind of value would you be aiming for? I'm curious to hear your opinions in the comments section. I have a positive outlook on McKee and believe it would be wise to keep him for another year to better assess his value. However, if a substantial and attractive offer comes in, it might be difficult to resist a trade. If you are looking for products other than jerseys, t-shirts, shirts, pants, flip-flops, or collectible items for your personal space, the following link leads to a wide variety of options, all thanks to the massive inventory available. Whether you prefer contemporary players, idols from the past, or diverse merchandising, these options are guaranteed. An important piece of news from Monday, May 12th, concerns the fact that the Eagles will face their rivals to start the season. They will face the Cowboys at Lincoln Financial Field to officially begin the 2025 NFL season. This game is scheduled for Thursday, September 4th, with a kickoff set for 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Viewers will be able to watch the game on a TV network, via a streaming service, or on a TV platform. Naturally, there will be a celebration to watch the showdown with a focus on the Eagles. A highlight image has already circulated containing reflections, a series of analyses, and a preview for this matchup, along with a review of the last game between the Eagles and Cowboys. All this content is accessible in a video available on the video platform, so don't miss the chance to check it out. It's worth mentioning that the last time the Eagles and Cowboys faced off in a season opener was in 2000, a game widely known as the Pickle Juice game. I have researched the rivalry between these two franchises, and it's fascinating to note how they have followed such different paths since the beginning of the 21st century. I shared this information in the community section of the video platform, and it's impressive to see the success the Eagles have enjoyed compared to the struggles the Cowboys have faced. The Eagles have remained a powerhouse and have become a league example to follow. In contrast, the Cowboys have faced many challenges. Since that season opener in September 2000, the Eagles have made 17 playoff appearances, reached 8 NFC championship games, played in 4 Super Bowls, and won 2 Lombardi trophies. In stark contrast, the Cowboys have made just 10 playoff appearances and have failed to reach any conference finals. Since 2000, the Eagles have made 17 playoff appearances, participated in 8 NFC championship games, played in 4 Super Bowls, and have 2 Lombardi trophies. Meanwhile, the Dallas Cowboys have had only 10 playoff appearances and have failed to reach any conference final. Therefore, when Cowboys fans try to claim they have 5 rings and that the Eagles, since 2017, have only won 2, they need to review their achievements, as nothing they say is relevant. In sports and business, everything boils down to what you've done recently. This logic also applies to relationships and friendships. When analyzing the data since 2000, the difference in this rivalry between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys becomes evident. However, Cowboys fans insist they are better, that the Eagles are weak, that Jalen Hurts isn't good enough, and that Dak is still superior. This is simply incoherent. It's part of the usual Cowboys chatter as their fans adopt this dysfunctional behavior, believing every year will be their year. But in the end, the reality is always the same. Either they disappoint, or they perform unsatisfactorily, or they fail to meet expectations. And what happens with the Eagles most of the time? They achieve success, win important games, and have been examples of organization, or at least among the best since 2000, alongside other top teams. The Philadelphia Eagles are part of that list. If you're still following, feel free to leave a comment, because after the Cowboys. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Philadelphia Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni has expressed serious concern over his team's recent training sessions, which he described as lacking intensity and focus. As the Eagles prepare for a highly anticipated NFL season, Sirianni's unease is becoming a growing point of discussion among fans and analysts. The coach, known for his high-energy approach and detailed preparation, reportedly sees the current performance level as far below what is expected of a team with playoff aspirations. Sources close to the organization say Sirianni has been visibly frustrated during practices, often stopping drills to call out what he perceives as a lack of urgency. This is not the standard we set for ourselves. He was quoted saying to players after a particularly sloppy session earlier this week, "With the season approaching, the window to correct course is shrinking quickly, and Sirianni knows it." Expectations were high coming into the offseason, with the Eagles boasting a strong roster filled with both veteran talent and promising young players. However, the early signs from training camp suggest that cohesion and discipline are still missing. Sirianni's alarm likely stems from deeper concerns, not just about execution, but about mindset. For a team that reached the Super Bowl not long ago, the drop in standards is troubling. In the NFL, where every practice counts, signs of disorganization and lack of effort can translate into costly mistakes on the field. Sirianni is aware of this and has reportedly begun implementing more structured and intense practice routines in an attempt to refocus the group. The challenge will be not only getting his message across, but ensuring it resonates in time. As the regular season looms, Eagles fans are left hoping that their team will find its rhythm and rise to the occasion. But if the current atmosphere at training camp is any indication, Sirianni has a long road ahead in restoring the edge that once made the Eagles contenders. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.